Alright, y'all, so let's talk about lightning strike. It sucks pretty bad. I'm actually out here with Tammy, currently teaching her babies how to get snackies and eat and do all kinds of things, but let's talk about it. So you saw a gap in when we were adding in things, and it can be quite frustrating, especially when I'm like, hey, I'm here every day for the shorts, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the vlogs, and then all of a sudden I'm not here for a little bit of time. Well, two major events happened. One, we had a lightning strike, not to our house, but beside of our house, like literally beside of our house. And it went through some outlets, it fried some things. It fried the modem, fried cords, and it got my way of communicating to y'all, which is the internet, which is what we're all like dependent upon, right? We're dependent upon it for everything. We're completely crippled if we don't have internet. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you don't have it, you don't do anything. You can't pay your bills, you can't order what you need, right? Because not all of us go to the stores. We order things. Not all of us have the luxury of saying, oh, I'm just going to run up to the store, especially when you don't live very close to stores like we don't. We're very rural here. But anyway, the issue with us is that if you don't have internet, you can't communicate, you can't use phones, can do absolutely nothing. And trying to get parts in and trying to get delivery stuff when they say it's coming, it's not great. And I mean, yeah, you can complain about it all you want to. It's not going to fix the problem. Even when a bunch of people complain about it, it's still not going to fix the issues or the problem. So I have to apologize for that, even though it wasn't anything I did or anything any of us did. It was just lightning strike. Fried my stuff. Trying to get parts to fix things is absolutely ridiculous. It worked out a little bit because in talking to you guys about everything that's been happening, another major event happened. So we had my oldest son, he had to have a major surgery. You know, we kind of figured he was probably going to have something done, but things had got to the point where it was very difficult for him to breathe, very difficult for him to not be sick and have continuous issues. So a couple of weeks ago, we saw a really good surgeon and they fixed the problem. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody what it is because it's none of anybody's concern or business because it's medical stuff, right? I'm trying to just get back into a routine and a schedule. It's hard, even for these fluffs, because while I was taking care of my kiddo being sick as he has been, it's been kind of hard. So I try to bring you guys good content and things that I think that you'll enjoy. You send me examples and you send me emails, which I love, by the way, and you send me different types of things and say, hey, can you do something on this, can you do something on that? Sure, great, yeah, I can do that. Not a problem. The problem is you're completely crippled when you don't have the internet and you rely on the internet for everything. And when you live in rural areas and way out away from people in the country and all that stuff, and you don't get service and you're underserved anyway, and your cell phones have no service even on your whole entire road that goes for a couple miles, It's hard, very, very hard. So don't laugh when you hear people talking about, oh, we still have to keep like landline phones, because we do, for that reason, especially for emergencies. And if you guys have been to the website at CrissyOShow.com, you know what I used to do. If you don't, let me fill you in a little bit. So I was medical professional, and I was retired as a nurse manager at a very large practice that I worked with. I worked in hospitals, those types of things, and that kind of stuff. So done with all that life that's done and gone. Fast forwarding, I also worked with my late sister, who passed away in 2017 of very rare forms of cancer. She was 52 when she passed. She just had a birthday in June. She would have been 61, so that's kind of rough, you know, still kind of rough. But with all of that being said, me and her spent a lot of time and a lot of years, along with our other sister Tam, who worked with special needs community. And we worked with kids and teenagers and adults and seniors. Autism, the chronically ill, critically ill, terminally ill, you name it. We did it for, I don't know, 25 plus years. So we also had the family band, which we did. And that went on until that abruptly stopped in 2023. Just a lot of sad situations, a lot of circumstances that occurred that nobody expects, but it happens. And you know, sometimes you're thrown these things that you really can't help, and you just have to start over. And that's basically what I did. I had to literally start over from the bottom ground up. That was not a good undertaking for me. Plus in 2023, my granny that raised me, who was basically my mama to me, you know, she passed away at the ripe young age of 93. So there's that. And I had to deal with, you know, a lot of loss, a lot of grief, a lot of loss of things, life, businesses, business, and different types of things that you lose. And you lose people along the way, not in the sense of death, but in the sense of you're only important to some people if you're providing them something that they want. Plain and simple. If you provide a check of some sort, a service of some sort, a benefit of some sort, a friendship where it benefits them, and you're a people pleaser and doing all that stuff, then it will not benefit you. You lose friendships along the way as well. But what I can tell you from advice, and this is like straight from my heart, is it's okay to hit rock bottom. Been there, done that a couple of times. But it's not okay to sit there and wallow around. You have to grieve your losses in many different ways, and grief doesn't always come with the death of somebody or something. It comes with loss in many different forms. Loss of business, loss of jobs, loss of friendships, loss of family members, loss of a lot of connections, loss of a lot of things that you could be pulled away or ripped away from permanently. Now, give or take a few things in there that I may have missed, it's just that, like for me, I have my family, and I have my children. They're grown, but I do have children that have special needs. And with those types of issues and things that you deal with those types of disabilities, it can be kind of rough. But don't ever in the history of ever give up on yourself, because I mean, it ain't the Biltmore, but you can have chickens, ducks, quails. You can have a little farmstead. You can have a little greenhouse that's back there in the back, compost piles, and you can start literally from zero, nothing, and you can make things work out if you want it to. So the backstory, although for me has a lot of pain infused with it, I try not to do that for you guys. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody really wants to hear about it unless you're just nosy and you want to hear about it. I like to be as positive and fun and uplifting as I can be, because when I needed those things, it wasn't there for me. So if I can help you guys, like, sure, yeah, you can homestead, farmstead, whatever it is you want to call it, farm. You can start from zero, nothing to something, and you can grow slow and steady, and you can continue to do those things so that it makes a difference in your life, and you can change your life so that it fits you a little bit better. Now, since we're on the topic of talking about me, since somebody said, hey, can you talk about yourself a little bit? I grew up in a very musical family, obviously. We had tours, shows, concerts, everything you can think of. Basically, my life, I grew up on a stage somewhere, playing something. I played a lot of instruments. And I used to teach along the way. I would teach people, and I also would teach voice and those types of things, because when you grow up in a musical family, that's kind of what you do, is you sing, you play music, you do those things. Over the years, things were really good, and then around 2009 hit, then things in the music industry just wasn't what it was cracked up to be, and it wasn't as great as it used to be. So things started declining around 2009. We picked up a little bit maybe in 2010 to 2015, maybe a little bit, but it wasn't steady at all. The studio was the studio. We were hit or miss with people, because with the internet and all types of people getting home studios and home things, they were mixing, recording, they were just doing all this digital stuff. So it was a struggle, it was hard. So we focused basically what we knew to do to make, you know, money to pay the bills, basically, because it ain't like we paid ourselves. I had a different job for that. Me with my own family, living with family members who have autism and Tourette's and chronic medical things and permanent disabilities from traumatic brain injuries, those types of things, made me more sympathetic as not only as a person, as a caregiver, but as a mom to other people who, you know, I got to see all kinds of families, all kinds of people, and I got to help so many people as well, which was really nice to be able to do. I didn't do it for any fame, I didn't do it for recognition, I didn't do it for myself. I did it because I felt like it was the right thing to do. We did food boxes. We helped so many people. I just had to make sure that things were good with other people before it was good with me, you know. I took care of a lot of people, including my own folks. But there's a a harsh reality to that, because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody's going to take care of you. So I had to learn that the hard way. So going through all the trials and tribulations of working with other people, once all the other stuff was gone, you know, 2 years ago, gone, you don't know what to do. You're just basically wandering around like, oh my gosh, all of these people, all these folks that I was doing for, that I was helping, that I was doing all these things for. And then it clicked and I realized I'm not taking care of me, and I got pretty sick, my own self. So it took about a year and a half of just getting through the sick parts, getting through the unwell parts, and things that I needed to do for me and my own family that made it easier to not do all of those things where people weren't picking and pulling on me on 45 different angles. I didn't have to grace the stage anywhere. I didn't have to do a public talk anymore because I couldn't. And I still, right now, can't. Buying my first set of like chickens for here, you know, I grew up with them. Buying my first set of little chickens and starting that over a period of years, and working with the ducks and the quails and doing other things, you know, farmsteady, homesteady, whatever you want to call it, farming, whatever you want to call it. Taking care of something else beyond people and person that I was already doing, that helped me a lot. It wasn't something that I intended to really do, but the more I worked at it, the easier it got. It's provided a lot of stuff for me and my family. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to share all my knowledge and things with you guys, because if I hadn't have had that sudden abrupt stop that happened to me in 2023, the death of my family member, the death of everything that I knew that we had built, that we had done, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't be sharing these things with you, but I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad I was able to do it, because I had to overcome a lot, and it was extremely rough. So if I can go through 2 years of, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do, and do it, you can too. And it's so muddy. The boys are so nice, they decided to bring us some wheat straw out. Nice clean wheat straw. We're going to put it out here in this muddy part up here in the very front, around the front sides of the barn. Way to use your leg, buddy. Right there's good. And I know y'all are like, oh, don't use wheat straw, it's going to make mold. No, not for us, it doesn't. Anyway, we're going to put wheat straw from here all the way around through here. Sorry, my camera's fogging up. Let me clean you off a little bit. It's only 9,000,000 degrees. So because it's so nicely done, I can take it, and all I have to do is walk and just gently shake. And just shake. And it's so much fun for them that they actually will scratch through it and spread it out themselves, which is nice. And the cool thing about it is any kind of like mice or Nanaroo, we are on the TV. Do not do that. You have a barn, go get a room. Tam, honey, unless you're going to help, I don't need you up there. Yeah, she's not much of a help. But anyway, so right down here at the door, we put it all out. And mainly it's to keep us from sliding and busting our crack holes, because we don't want to do that. And it's fun. They like getting the little wheat berries and stuff. So they enjoy it like a lot. You see how muddy it is? So there we go. So saddles and wheat straw. Fun times. If I look weird, it's because I got the thing on my head. They're having a good time. We've had a good day. We've done the saddle business. We've done the cleaning out the barn and the coop business like we always have to do weekly. I'm literally roasting hot right now. It's so hot. So with that being said, thank y'all for liking, sharing, following, subscribing, sending me really cool messages and asking me questions. I love to answer questions. And yes, you can get some fertilized eggs from me if you want them. So there you go. Anyway, we're gonna rock and roll. We're gonna put the rest of this hay down here in the quail barn because they need it. Let's go clean out the quail barn and sweat some more. Sounds like a good plan. Anyway, get your little grubbies from Grub Terra. My link is in the description box. Get you 10% off on the CC10 code. And if you can't be good, I guess, I don't know what to tell you. Be good at it.